Wow. Let's leave that for a minute or so. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now I've been playing with gouache, the jelly gouache recently. I did this picture, I've been on just doing Pokemon pictures recently, but how cool has that turned out? That's all gouache with a little bit of Prismacolor, and I mean a little bit, like some of the shaded areas. Even most of the shading is the gouache. Now I did use my older Artex ones. They do dry up pretty quick, these things. I mean, once you activate them with water, they're absolutely fine. So I'll show you these ones. These are a couple of years old at this point. You can see how dried up. Some of them are still not dried from the other day that I was using them. But they do go cracked and they don't look the nicest, but they work, you know, they work just as good. I really enjoyed using them for that. And that was just a scrapbook. It's a scrapbook, a Hobbycraft scrapbook, that, so it's not like massively thick paper. Yeah, it's been alright, to be honest. So because I enjoyed using it that much, I thought there's 18 colours in it. It's a good job it says that on the front, because I wouldn't have remembered. You're getting 30ml of each colour, and I think you're getting 36 colours in this one, and 12 gram, is that gram, of colour in that one. So the reason that I bought that one is I just wanted a larger selection of colours, and I was curious to try a different brand. Now I did purchase both of these with my own money. Like I said, this one is years old at this point. Did I really need to buy another one? I could have mixed the colours out of here. No. Did I want to? Yes. I just wanted a larger selection of colours. But I was curious to see what they're going to be like. I'll just move this out of the way. I'm curious to see what they're going to be like in a colouring book. I can't remember the last time I used gouache in a colouring book. I've used watercolour plenty and plenty of times. Now I don't usually have issue with Hanna Karlzon books, so I thought I'd prefer and do it on paper that I know is going to handle it pretty well. Now the paper in this book is lovely and thick. If anything, it's thicker than that scrapbook, the Hobbycraft scrapbook. And I think I will do this one. This front cover. I've done this one previously, I think, but this will be perfect because it's very blocky, and if I do accidentally go over some lines, I can go over the top. Not like if I had like more detailed one, if I went over the lines on that, it would take me a while to go over the lines again, and the dog decides to walk around, and I might not be able to remember where them lines were, but this is a bit easier to follow. So that's the page that I'm going to be working on. But I've had these for a couple of weeks at this point, and then, as you know, I've had surgery, and then I was ill, and then I passed it to Lewis, my son, and then I've passed it to my daughter, which is brilliant. So it's just my husband there to get it. So this is the first time I'm having a little nosy at this. So this is He Me. Now I did check, $21.99 I paid for these, and they are still $21.99 at the minute, and it just says bright colours, safe and non-toxic, waterproof, high light resistance. So with the other one, I was using the lid as a palette, but by the looks of it, you do actually get, which is pretty good, a separate palette with this one. You've got the colours there, chuck that away, that's rubbish because half of the time they don't look like that. Oh, you do get some brushes as well. I've literally just, from Hobbycraft, I've just bought some cheap brushes, because you can always use cheap brushes for gouache and acrylic, and then they just wear all the time. So it's always handy to have some cheaper ones. Now, I'm not expecting the quality of these to be absolutely amazing, I'll be honest with you, but I think that they'll do the job that I want them to in colouring books. I like the colour. I do like the colour actually. Goes with my walls. So the reason that I got these is because it's a lot smaller. Look at the little tubes. So I'll just do one, because it'll take me ages. Maybe not the brains. If I just do this, make it a little bit neater. So you do have space there. I don't like that. I think that's a design flaw. That. I think that's stupid. If anything, this portion shouldn't be here. They should have just put the paintbrushes separate. I understand why they've done it, because they've made it like portable. So, but I won't ever use anything like this portable. Only ever use it in the house. So they do actually have the names on them. Now, I'm not that organised that I'm going to cut them out and stick them down. I will just, this is the pink that I'm using, this is the orange that I'm using, this is the blue that I'm using. I was tempted to try a more expensive brand of gouache, but considering I really enjoyed the jelly gouache that I've already got, and these ones are really, really reasonably priced if they're alright, I thought, you know, there's probably no point because I won't use them enough to justify me spending a lot of money. Right, so you do get two whites. Are they both the same? No, so we've got titanium white and white. Let's open the pastel one. Now, one thing that annoys me with these packaging is that I feel like I'm wasting loads of paint. Ow, that hurt. There's no, like, you know when you open sandwich meat and there's a thingy on the side? There's none of that. Am I going to have to get my nail clippers? Not my nail clippers, my tweezers. I don't think they're in here. Oh yeah, they are. I can't do it. I can't open it up. Well, that's not a good start, is it? I seriously cannot open it up. Oh, there you go. Oh, that is difficult, and the paint's going to go everywhere because I'm squeezing it. Yeah, so this is definitely going to take me a while. I think I'll pop some music on and get this done. I will check the time, it's 1:30 now. I reckon this is probably going to take me about half an hour to do these. I'm not going to... Oh, shall I swatch the colours? No, I won't swatch the colours. But I'll just use them straight in the colouring book. I wish that they'd stay looking as nice as... I know that doesn't because it needs mixing. But you know, as wet as that, I wish they would stay. Because I've kept the lid on the other gouache palette and they just don't stay like that. They dry out, unfortunately. It's just one of them things. So yeah, I will come back when all the unwrapping is done. So that did take me a little bit less than I said. It took me almost 20 minutes and my hands were covered. Luckily it does wash off. Somehow it was on my nose as well. And my chin. Right, I think I'll use the little palette that comes with it. The only thing is that I do like to keep them as clean as possible, especially when I've not used the lid as the palette. Like some areas I couldn't help but get it a little bit messy. So when I put the lid on, it's going to go all over the lid, but it is what it is. So I have pulled out a couple of the cheaper brushes that I mentioned that I purchased before from Hobbycraft. And then I've got these ones. I probably won't use the two larger ones, but I'll just keep them here just in case. I've not got a cloth, but I've got some tissue. Let's get this page. Let's work on, let's do the flowers. Yeah, let's do the flowers. I want them to be a really, I was going to say, so even red? Reds and oranges. No, I'm not feeling that. Purples, blues and pinks. Yeah, purples, blues and pinks. So I'll work with my smallest brush, size 3 this one, and just pick up a tiny bit of this gouache. Maybe that was a little bit too much. I literally just said a tiny little bit and I pick up that much. But to be fair, there is a lot of flowers on here. Put some water in my pipette. I'm going to add quite a bit of water actually. Get all this mixed in. This should just act nice. Like watercolour really. Just want to make sure that that's all broken up, because if you get clumps and you put that on your page, it won't look very nice. I did do it a lot thicker. I did use it a lot thicker with that Pokemon page. But I'm just testing the waters here, to be honest, and see how easily it goes down. I can't speak today. We'll do this one. So there is a lot on the brush there. Let's put some down and then I can blend that out. So that to me is just working like a watercolour. That's because I've added so much water. I'll do some thicker gouache in different areas. I just want to have a play with it and see what it's like compared to the other one. I do think that they're going to be similar. And I imagine that these will dry a lot quicker than watercolour, because as far as I'm aware they're like a mixture between watercolour and acrylic paint, and acrylic paint dries really quick. I'll try and get it down as smooth as I can. If you do let any areas dry and you go over the top, you will see that line. So is that part? No, that's the leaf. And a little does go a long way as well. See that bit there is actually almost dry. It does look a little bit patchy, that's probably my application of it. It's not too bad. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have done a little bit of a background. Right, so I'll fill in all of these flowers and then do a quick little background with some distress ink once this is dry, and then carry on. Because if I use any lighter colours and then put the distress ink over the top, it'll just cover the colours up. I didn't think of that. I'm interested to see what pencil's going to work like over these as well. The Prismas work really well over the other gouaches that I've got. Hopefully that's a little bit of a better angle for you to see. I'm going to take the light a little bit there. That is almost dry, that at the top. Now ideally I'd be using an even smaller brush, but I don't want to use my really fancy watercolour brushes just in case. Especially when it's the first time me using these new paints. I think it's nice though to use different things, not just your coloured pencils, because I would soon get bored. Let's just work on these smaller flowers. Talking about flowers, they've just got daffodils in the shops, so I've got some gorgeous daffodils downstairs. So for the next month there's just daffodils in this house. I think as long as you're quick, you can get a pretty smooth application. Where you can see here that I've added a little bit more pigment. It does puddle a bit. See how I'm moving it there? If I go to fill that back in, I'd have to go over the whole thing because you'll see lines everywhere. I mean, but if you're going over with a couple of layers, and especially with pencil, I think you'll get away with it. I'm liking the colour though, I do like the colour. Now, it's quite a few hours later now, so it is completely dry. Now, for me to get this amount of pigment with watercolour, it probably would have took at least 2 layers, and you saw how much I watered this down. Now, I do need to get the background sorted before I can carry on. Now, I don't just want to use pencil straight over the top of this because I feel like I could just use watercolour for that. So I'm going to activate this again, this colour, and try and do some sort of shading with that, I think. And then if I'm still not happy, then I might go over the top with a bit of pencil. Now, what colour? I'm thinking turquoise for the background. Just seen that colour and I thought, oh, that'd be perfect. Evergreen. Have we got another one that's slightly darker? Let's have a look on those. Oh, peacock feathers. Some of these are drying out now. And pine needles. I don't want to buy it anymore unless they come out. There is one colour that I'd like. I think it's eggshell or bird egg. It's similar to these. But I don't want to be purchasing loads. I've said this before. But I don't want to be buying. I've got more than enough art supplies to probably last me for the rest of my life. I don't want to be buying more, to buy more, to buy more, not use things. So, yeah, there is a couple of colours all that are drying out. But I've had these now for about 3 or 4 years, so they've had a good life now. I'll just pop a little bit of washi tape. This washi tape I found is not too bad. I got this last year from is it called Kenja? It's in the Trafford Centre. They sell proper cute, like, is it Japanese? There's like teddies and stationery and kitchen utensils. There's all sorts in there. I love having a good nosy in there. I nearly bought a diary the other day. Not a diary, like a notepad. It was like £2.50. It was a dinosaur one, but I stepped away. I was good. Right. My son Mark's going in that shop as well with his friend when he goes there. So I think the lightest one of the 3 is going to be the peacock feathers, although they're really similar. That's more green. Oops. We'll start off with the peacock feathers, and I keep mine in this little, I don't even know what this is from. Start markers. No idea. We'll have a bigger one and a smaller one, I think. Let's pop a little bit this time. Now I will leave this to dry completely before I come and mess with it again. So this may be a little bit of a longer choppy video because it's going to take me. I didn't realise how big these were. They're actually makeup brushes, like blending brushes. And I do actually use one of these for putting foundation on occasionally, and they're nice. Or primers, they're good for primers. So just load the brush up, just circular motions. No, start makers, that says. So that's the bag that they came with. Markers. I was thinking it would do with markers because it's in my art room. So I'll start off in the middle. I'm using really light pressure. If I use really hard pressure, you'll get them horrible lines. And I'm not too worried if this goes over some of the purple flowers. It's not really showing up on camera, but I promise you it's there. Because I don't think the colour's dark enough to cause a problem. Actually, I'm going to switch to this one and I'll use that one for around the edges, I think. more or less doing this for a little bit of colour in the background. I'm not going to do a splatter effect or anything, because that means waiting even longer for it to dry. Probably should have done that this afternoon when I had time to let it dry. Now, I'm not going to go traditional with the leaves, like greens. I'm going to go turquoise, I think, just to match up with these. See, I messed it up a bit there. See that line? Just to match up with this background. Let's use the bigger one. Get that blended out. Let's switch over to a different colour now. So the evergreen. Let's pop there. See, them two shades look so similar, and this one feels a little bit drier. I suppose this one's more greener, where the other one's a little bit more blue. Yeah, it's definitely drying up, this one. So I don't want to go mad with this one, because it's a bit patchy compared to the. Switch over to the darkest one now. What was this one? Pine Needles. Yeah, see, that's a lot darker. You know what, actually, I'm going to add a little bit of purple. So let's find a purple. None in that first drawer. Let's put some of these ones back. We have Wilted Violet and Dusty Concord. They might do. Start off with the lighter one first. See if I'll get away with just using the same brush. Now I do clean these, not often, but I do clean them. See, I think that works. Let's add some down here and connect them two purples. Just like that. I'm so tempted now to do the splatter. I just don't want to wait for it to dry. Maybe if I just do a little bit. But I know what I'm like. Go over the top with it. Now I do keep these stored as well upside down, with them being ink pads. This is the Dusty Concord. That one's not showing up as well. Oh yeah, it is. Maybe right in the centre of this turquoise here. And then we've got nothing down here. So let's get that filled in. I don't want to put too much of this on, I want to go back to that other purple actually. I do prefer that one. It's a bit more vibrant. And that's it. I don't want to go mad. I am going to put a little bit of water down. I can't help myself. So let me get my water sprayer. This is just a cheapy one that I got from the pound shop. I hold it quite far back. I've not got a cloth because I can show you like what I do with the trigger. Oops, more fingers and thumbs apparently. My heat pad's coming off my back. So a clean cloth. I'm just tapping it. I'm not pressing it all the way down, I'm literally just tapping it so little droplets come out. And then I can be a little bit more accurate for where the colour's going to land, where the water's going to land. Leave it literally 1, 2, 3. And then because I started off at the top, you want to lift that colour away, don't swipe. Because if you swipe, that will just destroy your paper and it'll mix the colours together. So it's like a rolling motion. You're just picking that colour up. Now, as suspected, it is picking a little bit of the gouache up. That's fine. So I definitely should have done this at the start. Now, let me just get another dry spot. I just want to take up as much water as I can so it'll dry a little bit quicker and then I can carry on filming because it's currently 10 o'clock in the evening. Things come up, don't they? So no bleed through. The page behind is absolutely fine because I've not absolutely swamped it with water. And it's not really wet. I could get away with painting on that straight away. But I will leave it about 10 minutes or so and I'll just sit here and let it dry out basically. But I'm quite happy with them splattered. I don't think it needs any more actually. I'm really happy with that actually. So let's take the tape off. It's wasted tape though, I only needed one. I'm going to actually tape this to my desk and reuse it for something else. Put it at the side of my desk, stick it down. I'll use it for my Pokemon pictures. There we go, that'll be fine to use again. So that is the background done. The background, it has sort of spoiled the work that I did before, but it wasn't like really tedious work, was it? Right, so I'll come back in probably about 10 minutes. Now, I did put the lid straight back on this. I thought I got it on my nails then. I did put the lid straight back on this when I finished this afternoon. It's not going to have dampened already. It takes days if not weeks for it to get as dry and cracked as my other palette, so I'm not worried there. So yep, I will come back in a little bit. So we are completely dry now. It's only been about 10 minutes, so I'm quite impressed with myself for not going over the top with the water on this one. Now, that's the colour that we used before, and that's the colour I believe, I want to say. I'm sure it was that colour. So, I'm going to add a tiny bit of the darker purple. I feel like I say that really weird. Purple. It's a couple of drops of water. Where has that darker colour disappeared to? I'm going to need more, aren't I? Actually, this navy blue here is calling out my name. So let's clean my brush. Don't want to contaminate, I want to keep it as pretty as I can for as long as I can. And that's a decent amount there. Now that should be really pigmented. So I want to add a couple more drops of water. Maybe 2. Oh no. See, this always happens when you film and when you're doing it in your own time. It doesn't happen. Okay, I managed to pull it up pretty quick. So there you go, you can pull it up, it's stained a little bit. But Show must go on. So I just want to take as much excess off this brush as I possibly can. Now bear with me because I've not used these before. I know they're really similar to the other ones, but I've not used gouache in this way. When I'm doing them other pictures I've been working on, it's really blocky. Like, that's the purpose, you're meant to have the lines, and I don't really want lines all over this. So what might be a good idea, I just want to get another brush, dampen that and get that ready because I will need it. I think I actually want this a little bit more pigmented, but if I just blend out just like that, you know what, that's probably an actually better brush. I was a little bit more precise with that. I'm going to switch. So let me clean that one. So this is the time where I'm meant to be being quiet. So back in with that original purple I used to blend this out, and carefully this time, don't be splattering it everywhere. That blue is literally took over. Try a little bit more. I've already contaminated it. There we go, that's better. I'm not going to add any more water this time. Just take off the excess as best as I can. So I don't need all that on the brush. We'll go with this leaf. See, that's really similar. I'm struggling here to get the pigment that I want. Am I literally going to have to dip straight into the palette or what? I suppose it's a little bit better. So if I just pop that down and then use this clean brush, it needs more water, and just clean the edges. Let's see how that dries. I want to add more paint to the brush. Yeah, it's, I think maybe because I'm trying to treat it too much like watercolour. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Why didn't I use this brush to start off with? It would have been so much easier. Then blend. More water. And I'm constantly adding the water and then dabbing it off on this cloth. Just making sure it's as clean as I can be. So I'll do all this off camera because it's literally going to be the same thing, be doing it over and over again. And realistically, I don't want the video to be like 4 hours long because I do think it's going to take me a while to do this. I pulled this book out this afternoon and I forgot how many really nice pages I'd actually done in this. So hopefully this page turns out just as nice. So yeah, I hope that you don't mind that I'm not going to film the whole process. It's just I think it's a bit repetitive. We're doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll come back when it's time to do another, probably the leaves I would have thought. Now we are about 2 days later because I've just not had time to be able to sit in my room. Everybody's ill, which is fun. Time of the year. But it's dried really, really pigmented around where I put the darker colour, the darker purple. It's almost covered up the line art. Now I like the look of that for this illustration with them being flowers. I'm not too sure what that'd be like in a different, let me just, where are we? Something really detailed. Like these for instance, if you painted these you would cover all that beautiful detail. You would have to be so careful going over the line art, or you'd have to have it really watered down. When if you're going to do that, I'd probably use watercolour paint, but maybe not, because you can use these in different ways, I suppose. I mean, watercolours are watercolours, but you can water these down to act like that, or you can make them thicker so they are almost like the acrylic paints. So I want to do the leaves next, I think. I'll stick with this size brush. If I remember correctly, I wanted to do like a teal shade, so I'm just going to mix some colours together. It has been a couple of days, like I said, and they've still stayed really, really nice and soft. I expect them to stay nice and soft for a couple of weeks, to be honest, not just a couple of days. So that's more, I'm completely having a brain fart. How do I make teal? Do I need to add more blue? That's a darker green. Let's water that down. I probably mixed way too much there. But I am going to pop a tiny bit of blue, like a navy blue. Or is that purple? I think that's navy blue. Just deepen it up a little bit. I'm not going to add any more water, I'm just trying to take as much excess off, just in case I don't like the colour. We'll start off over here because I'm right-handed. Yeah, so that's the sort of colour that I wanted. Now, knowing what I know now with the covering the liner up, if I make it really thick, I think I'll use pencil just to do a tiny bit of shading on these leaves, nothing too crazy. So it's just literally going to be a case of me filling all of these leaves in, block colouring them, and then coming back later on with the pencils, because I need to decide what I want to do about the frame. I'm not sure whether I want to use this paint or maybe an ink or maybe a metallic watercolour. Yeah, they go together really nicely. Now, editing future me hopefully will zoom in so you'll be able to see a little bit better what I'm doing. Let's pick up some more of that colour. Let's do this little one down here. We are snowing as well today. In the UK, it's snowing here. I don't think it's going to stick though. I hope not. Yeah, so that goes together really nicely, that. So I'll do this last little bunch and I'll do the rest quickly off camera and then I can move on. What should I do? Because can you see these at the top that are attached to the, I don't know what you call them, stem? It's the same here, so it's not, the only bit that's really a border, I'm pointing and you can't see, this is the stem and I thought that was the border. I think the only bit that's actually the border is this centrepiece here that's not attached to the flowers, and then the bit at the top as well. So I think these are going to have to be this colour, otherwise I'll stop there and it'll look a bit weird. So I think, yeah, I'll do all that off camera just to save a little bit of time. Let's get all these filled in, and I might even switch to an even smaller brush just to save myself the hassle, because I'm going out the lines. pretty badly. Where's my smaller brushes? Is that any smaller? That's a size 2. That should do. This is actually a watercolour brush, but it should be okay. As long as I clean it as soon as I've finished using it. Yeah, so we'll do these stems. So I think it'll look a little bit strange. Oops, I found the purple a little bit. And for the pencils, I might even use the Artex or the Arteza pencils. I do really like them. And the paper is really textured now. So I don't want to be using my really fancy pencils because it will eat away at them. I was just about to start that one now, so I'll quickly do, well quickly, I think it'll take me a little while to do all this off camera, and then I will come back to probably get the mushrooms coloured in, all filled in, get something done with the border, and then I can basically work on the pencil. Oh, I've missed a little bit at the top there. Take off the excess. The star as well. I'm not too sure. I might do the star the same colour as the border to make it all match, I think. All done and all dry. Now, I want to work on these little mushrooms, and I've decided I do want them red because I think they'll stand out really nicely being red. Now, I'm not sure, shall I stick with the same brush? Yeah, I'll stick with the same brush and colour palette. I'm going to try and use 2 different colours here. So we've got the red, this is like a poppy red. Let's add a tiny bit of water to that. Clean my brush off, and I want some of this darker red. What might be a good idea is using 2 brushes actually. That's what I'll do. Oh, I've just stuck my finger in the green. It's not ideal. It's taking off some of that paint. So, yeah, I'll use this one. This is more of an orange, yeah. It's like a poppy red. I'll go over the whole thing because I'm going to use an acrylic paint pen for the white later on, once it's dried. And then I'll probably do underneath a different colour. So while it's still wet, add some of this darker red. Just see what it does. Will it bleed and actually look nice? Same thing with this next one. Whoops, I've just got out lines, can't really fix that now. And then with that darker red. If I just pop it on like that, is it going to behave? See, that one's drying a little bit weird. I know you can't see properly because of the glare, but it's drying really weird, that one. So yeah, I'll leave it. I'm not going to mess with it. Oops, bit too much on there. Like that, and then with the darker red, See, it's because there's too much paint there, I think. Oh, and I just went out the lines. Try not to stress too much about it. Now, there is a lot of paint on there, so I will have to be patient with these little guys for drying. I don't think I want to put red anywhere else, although I'm thinking the very centre of them flowers would look really nice red. And now my camera's flashing. And we're back. Nice fresh battery. And I think I'm going to do the very centres. One of these reds. I've not decided which yet, because this red's leaning more like on the orangier side. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to paint these in, you know, all these little details, because I think it'll take me ages. I think using a pencil would be easier. It doesn't have to be a pencil, I suppose it could be a gel pen. Right. I think I'm going to use the darker of the red. Oh, I'm going on the wrong bit. So now I need to use a colour that will cover that up underneath. And the darker one. I'm starting to feel like I probably shouldn't have chose the nameplate page to mess around with these new paints. I hope it turns out alright, because it's the first page that you obviously see. Right, the last one. Try and be careful as best I can, stay in them lines. So I'll finish with that colour now. So go in with this darker red. Just deepen that up. And literally all I'm going to do is get some red onto the brush and just dab up that colour on. So I'll do that all the way around, and then I'll come back when it's completely dry. I don't want to do any more on the mushrooms because they're still wet. There's a chance the red then will bleed down and it'll just look awful. So I'll be able to do the underneath of the mushrooms, and then do, I think I'm going to use Winsor & Newton silver ink for the border. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm ready to get this page finished. I've pulled out everything that I'm going to need. I've chosen to use the Artex. Now I'm sure that I've done this before, but I always get confused between the Artex and Arteza. The barrels look so similar and the names being similar as well, but these are Artex pencils. I do really like them. I've got some Winsor & Newton silver ink. I've got the, it always makes me laugh this, because I always call it Dr. Phil, the PH Martin's Bleed Proof White. I might use this, I might not. I might just stick with my acrylic paint pen or my Posca pen. I do really like this tiny one. Look how tiny the nib is. I've been using this quite a lot recently actually. And the chef's kiss is this stuff. When you see this stuff going down and how glittery it is stunning. Stunning. I went through a phase of trying all different mediums and I bought embossing powder, but this is one of the things that I bought. It's a premium glitter and it's from Warwick Embossing, and it's the sparkles one. Now I did check recently and I cannot find it on the website. Maybe they've changed the name, or maybe you can find it on eBay. But I've had this for a long time and I don't know if you can see that, but there's hardly a dent in it, so it does last for a long time. I've got this colour and a gold. But I wish I'd got every single colour, because I can't find them now. So I think to start off with, I want to do the silver. Get the silver of these done. I'm not sure about the star. I'm really undecided about what to do with that, so I'll leave that till last. I'll do a tiny bit of the pencil work on camera and then spend a good hour probably doing all the rest of the shading off camera, and then come back to do all the fun details. Honestly, I can't wait to use this. It's so fun. And I use, I think it's called a Quickie pen. There it is. Is it a Quickie pen? Yeah, Quickie glue pen. That's what I like to use that with. Now the Winsor & Newton ink, make sure you give it a good shake. That might not be small enough. Where's my teeny tiny ones? I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Is it possible to get a cold and then it go away and then come back? Or is it I've got a cold and then it did go away and then I've got a different cold from somebody else? Because now I've got a sore throat, so I've been ill now for nearly 2 weeks. Right, that should be okay. Put my cloth. Yeah, I need to blow my nose. I do apologise. So let's get this started. So that should be mixed up enough. I'm just debating which size brush to use. I'll go with the smaller one to start off with. Now, with this Winsor & Newton ink, you do really have to get into the corners. Give it a good mix if you've not used it in a while. I'll give it a good mix. Take off any of the excess. Actually, I'm going to clean the brush off because I'm a bit nervous about it dripping down. So properly clean that off. And that should be good to go now. Yeah. So this is where I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. It's on the barrel there, so I'm going to have to clean the barrel off. Otherwise I'll not realise it's on my finger and then I'll touch the page. So let me pop a little bit more on. And just start this. Yeah, I need more on the brush. I think if you only have a little bit on, it's hard to place it down where you want it. But this brush probably isn't the best one. But that's the first bit done. You can see how shiny it is. I have got a pen that does a similar job, but it's a really thick nib, so I wouldn't be able to get into these details. But in saying that, I don't like the end of this brush. I might switch to the other one. It's not 1 point, there's 2 points on the brush. Yeah, I'm switching to this one. Let's try this one. That's better. That other one just must have been worn. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Now, because I'm right-handed, I'm starting the top left, just so I'm not popping my hand in it. Oh, now I'm looking at these flowers again. I do really like the effects of that gouache. It's just something different, something you definitely can't create with pencils. You could probably do a similar thing with watercolours, but it takes so many layers and you use so much of the paint up. So I keep dipping in but taking off the excess as I'm going. I need space. Yeah, I'm really undecided about what to do with these stars. I might even just colour them in with pencil and then add some glitter here and there. I can go mad with, like, I might even add stickles because it's the front page I mean, it's just that page at the back. Like if I had stickles, it'll be bumper for colouring the other side. So that's that first part done. See how shiny that is. It's not perfect in some areas, but it'll do. And then we've got this circle that goes completely round. I didn't finish painting the mushrooms. What am I going to fill them in with now? I don't want to have to get the gouache back out. You know what, I'll find some. I've got some, they're called Karen markers. I'll use them. I'll pull them out while this is drying. It's turning out to definitely be a mixed media page. Oh, I nail it. This should be enough on this brush now to completely finish this, I think. Just like that. Easy peasy. Yeah, so I'll go and get them Karen markers. Yeah, I'll need probably 2 colours actually. And get all them filled in, I think. So here's my collection of the Karen markers. I'm not gonna lie, I think I've used these about 4 or 5 times. Again, this was like when I first started colouring, going through the phase of I need to buy everything, I need to try everything, I need everything in every colour, and then in hindsight, did I need it? No. These are one of the things that are on the list to possibly be sold if they don't get used in the next 6 to 12 months. But they really go for calligraphy, I think. Something kind of brown for the underneath and for the stem. Like a cream shade. Yeah, I think they'll do. I'm just hoping they don't bleed through, I can't remember. So yeah, the brush marker that's in almond and pearline. I'm just open it up over this cloth just in case it decides to leak. Like I said, I've not used these in a long time. So I want this to be the stem. That's a little bit more yellow than I wanted. It'll do. Oh, it's going to make that gouache bleed. That's not good. Can you see? I'll yeah, that'll do. Has it bled through? No, it's not. And this one is the Proline, I can't pronounce it. Use this underneath. Whoa, that's a lot darker than I thought. Hopefully it dries a little bit lighter. See, they're still really juicy. I've kept the obviously the lids on, and I've kept them in that Ziploc bag. That's gonna bleed into there, innit? Oh no. Probably should have tested these colours, shouldn't I? I'll make it work. I use like a burgundy pencil. Oh, it's drying lighter actually. Yeah, I'll use a burgundy pencil just to add a little bit of shadow underneath these. These mushrooms will pop once I've added that white. Right, so they're done with. Seal these up and they can go back in the drawer. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna colour the stars. Should I do them red? You know what? I think I'm going to do it. Well, they don't all have to be red, do they? Carmine red. Crimson red. That's this dark purple, but that looks like a burgundy, that to me. Dog's gonna have a heart attack now. She hates them that machine. She's probably gonna go and running downstairs now. Which one? Which one? We'll do this one here. So black colour in this lightest shade. Just get it all filled in. Like I said, I'm gonna go over the top with glitter with these, so that, you know, like even the dot detail, that could be glitter. And then what was my next dye? Was it crimson? Yeah, crimson red. Impressed myself there. Just deepen this up just a little bit. Let's do that very centre. I think that circle would look nice as glitter actually. Just open the window and I can hear the birds and it's glorious. Dark purple. It does not look dark purple to me. No, it's more like a burgundy. I won't be able to do the glitter until I want to do the glitter everywhere, and you'll see what I mean when I do it, because you have to like sprinkle it on and then lift the paper up, and then you have to have a spare piece of paper. It is a little bit of a mess, but it's totally worth it. Yeah, so it's like a, it's not like an in-your-face red, that is it, compared to the mushrooms. It is a different sort of red. So I'll match the other side, I think. Just completely match it, and I might do a different shade of red for these stars. Just block colour in that. She's trying to run away from me. Who's ready for spring? I'm totally and utterly ready for it now. I do nothing but complain about the heat, but I do like spring. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, you've got the flowers everywhere, you've got baby animals. Yeah, so I think I'll switch that red. Put that to one side just so I remember which one it was. And then maybe try this red. Now, I had an issue sharpening this, that's why it's so tiny. I haven't just used loads of it. It just would not sharpen. The core must have been broken, I have no idea. And this one's chili pepper. Yeah, so this one matches the mushrooms a little bit better. So if I just colour the edges. like so. And then go in with the darker, what was it, crimson, yep. They're really similar in colour. I should have just used these colours for these ones as well. Maybe a red of them Karen markers might work, and I'm actually using them. And then the darkest, the dark purple, which is not dark purple, in my opinion. That's not too bad. I'm hoping future Debbie will zoom you in as well. And then we've got this side. It's difficult holding a smaller pencil. I have got pencil extenders somewhere. I've just realised I'm going over the whole thing here, aren't I? No other my own. Right. And the crimson one again. Get all that filled in. Completely messed up that bit, didn't I? And then the dark purple. Whoops, been a bit heavy-handed there. I made myself jump. Let me have a see. Let's pull these Karen markers back out. I have got a lot to choose from. I think I bought nearly all the sets apart from the greys, and I'm embarrassed that I don't use these. That's basically just red, fire red. Now we'll test these out this time. Lipstick red. Magenta red. I think that's all the reds. Pretty sure it's all the reds anyway. Let's get an empty page. This is a diary. I wrote all the reds down when we went to Florida. I don't want to go over them. Keep all of that. Right. So we've got the lipstick red. Oh, I like that one. And then we've got red. Oh no, I prefer that one. So that's up there. I might use that one. That one as well. No, but that's leaning more towards pink. I still prefer just a straight up red. I think this one's just overtook it, fire red. I know they probably don't look much different. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fire red. Make it pop. So that is basically all I'm going to do. I'm just going to do that all over. I'll pre-colour this just off camera really quick. I'll use these 4 colours and possibly add a black. Yes, I will add a black. And it'll just be the same thing, no fancy shading, it'll be block colouring. But if I get that done off camera, then I can work on the really fun bits a bit quicker, and I'll add a little bit of purple as well, like possibly even that deep dark purple. It's not dark purple. I'll find a dark purple and just add it onto the very, you know, like inner corners, just for deepen it up. Yeah, and then I can come back and do the fun bits with you. That's all the shading and all the bits that I didn't think was worth filming. These shiny purple bits that you can see are these pens. I have got a video up on my channel of these. The super golden markers, they're really nice. And I've used randomly a green one just here and there for a couple of stars. Use the same pencils to fill in the star, and a tiny bit of purple, as you can see here and there. And then underneath the mushrooms where I'm going to put the white, a tiny bit of black pencil. That's literally all I've done, and that took me about 40 minutes. So I thought, instead of saving you watching that, this is where I'm up to. So I want to use the War embossing powder and my Posca pen. I don't think I'm going to use that bleed proof white. So let's use the Posca pen first and get these mushrooms done. And I've just realised, number one, that gouache is activating underneath that white, so that's not ideal. I might have to use that bleed proof white, and I missed a star there. So I'll quickly fill in that star. I can't use that Posca pen, I don't want to destroy it, because it's not white that, it's gone like a pink. So let's have a look at this bleed proof white, and then maybe use the back of a brush. Now if I remember rightly, I have to add some water to this. So I've just added a little bit of water into this because it is quite dry. I don't know if I'm going to use the actual brush. If it doesn't work, I'll just use the other end. I do want quite a bit on. So let's see. That might be okay, but it will take a while to dry because they're very thick. It's going on. Let's put this down. It's making my hands shake. It's not a perfect circle, but it'll have to do. So can I take some of this pigment? Keep using it. I forgot how good this stuff is actually. Look how pigmented that is. I don't think I'm going to have to add any more. Yeah, I definitely can't do the glitter until this is dried now. Otherwise the glitter will just stick to all these areas. Right, well I'm keeping this stuff out. I completely forgot how good it was. That looks cool. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they're not perfect, are they, in real life? Real life. Yeah, mushrooms aren't perfect. I'll clean that brush off. So I'll probably have to leave that for at least, I reckon, about 15-20 minutes. Especially these areas that I put a lot down, but that's worked really well. I'm just wondering if I could add some anywhere else. What I might do actually is just add some white dots here and there, just so it's not just at the bottom. I'll use the other end. Yeah, perfect. And I can get different sizes depending how much is on the brush. Now, is it painting this or what? I'm not sure. That works really well. Trying to be careful not to go on things, but why? I might as well. Not even like on the leaves, because why not? Oh, I love this stuff now for this. Right, no, go on, a few more at the top. I can't help myself. It's fun to do this as well. There we go. So the last step now is going to be the glitter. But like I said, I'm going to have to wait until this completely dries. So that is the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Right, make sure I get the lid properly on this. Oh. So I will see you very soon. Now, I'm not going to lie, I had to use the heat gun for some of them. They were so thick, and I need to get this video done, edited and uploaded for you guys. I feel terrible for not uploading, so I want to get it up. I want to get it up and done. So the Quickie glue pen. Where do we want the glitter? Do we want them just like random, you know, like the white dots? I think that's what I'll do actually. So I've already prepared a scrap piece of paper, and I've literally just folded it because we'll need that to collect the glitter when we're done. I'm just thinking, I haven't actually got any PVA glue. I don't think, or have I? Because that would have been easier, and then dotting it about opposed to using this. Let me see how easy this comes out, because sometimes they can be annoying. No, it's working. It'll just take me a little bit longer. I'm pretty sure I used all the PVA glue up, so just make some bigger ones and smaller ones. You really are not going to be able to see this on camera. I can barely see it myself. It's just like an off-white colour, which I'm sure it used to be blue. I've had these for a long time. I can see it better on the darker areas. I can always go back in and add more if I want to. I just want to make sure I'm getting enough down, but I have to be quick because the top part will start drying. I'm wondering whether, you know, I could use some stickles as glue if this doesn't turn out as I'm thinking. Let's just see first. You know what, I'm going to do my name in glitter. Right, let's see. So I'll sprinkle this all over. I might not have put enough. I and I can't really see now that it started to dry. Just pop that all over. Wow. Let's leave that for a minute or so. How pretty does that look? Now this is just a disaster waiting to happen, but look. Ooh. Right, so put this underneath. I know I'm going to be finding glitter for days here. Carefully lift it up. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to get a paintbrush. This is clean, brand new one, just to take away any in the spine and on this page. Oh my god. Let's tap. Like a magic wand, isn't it? Oh, it's going all over my pants. That wasn't a good idea, but it needs doing. It's gonna look like a glitter bomb. It's gone off. What I'll do as well, I'll open the window and blow just to get any remaining bits off it. So now that's there. Pick up the pot of glitter. Carefully lift this up. And just pop that back in. Lid secured. We have got glitter everywhere, but if he doesn't love glitter, it's fine. But I'll get all this off when I put it to the window. But you can see there, and you can see my name. How pretty does that look? Oh, I love that. I'm going to have to keep that glitter out to remind me to use it more often. I'll put the Woe Embossing Powder website down below. But like I said, the last time that I checked, because I wanted to get more colours, I couldn't find this. Maybe it'll be on eBay. I don't know, but I've never found a glitter to actually look like this before. I love it. See? I hope that you enjoyed this longer video. I'm not too sure how long it's going to be. I might be able to edit it down a little bit. But yeah, please do subscribe to my channel if you are new. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.